When you take a medicine, whether it's for a headache or something more serious, you are placing your trust in the people who made it. You trust that it's safe, that it has the right ingredients, and that it will work as intended. This trust isn't just a hopeful feeling, it's built on a massive, careful system called quality assurance. Think of it as the set of rules and promises that ensure every single pill, liquid, or injection is made to the highest possible standard. It's all about making sure that what's on the label is exactly what's in the bottle, every single time. It's science in action, protecting our health with every step. At the very heart of this system are some very important letters, GMP. This stands for Good Manufacturing Practices. GMP is the rulebook for making medicines. It covers everything from the cleanliness of the factory to the training of the staff and the quality of the raw materials. It's the minimum standard that everyone must follow. You might also see cGMP, where the little c stands for current. Science and technology are always improving, right? Well, cGMP means that companies must use the most up-to-date systems and technologies. It's not enough to follow old rules. You have to keep up with the best ways we know how to make medicines safely and effectively. Now, how do we prove that our processes actually work? We do something called validation. Validation is the scientific proof that a process, a piece of equipment, or a method will consistently produce the expected result. It's like testing a recipe over and over to make sure you get a perfect cake every time. There are a few key types. First is prospective validation, which is done before a new product is made for sale. We test everything in advance to prove it works. Then there's concurrent validation, which is done during normal production, often for products that are needed urgently. The other types of validation help us keep things on track over time. Retrospective validation is a look back at historical data. We analyze the records from past batches to prove that the process has always been under control. This is less common now, but can be useful in certain situations. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, there is revalidation. This is done when something changes, like a new piece of equipment is installed, or a new ingredient supplier is used, or just on a regular schedule to make sure nothing has drifted over time. It's a way of saying, are we still doing this right? Validation is our promise, backed by data, that our medicines are reliable. Even with the best plans, sometimes things go wrong. A batch of medicine might not meet the standards, or a machine might act up. When that happens, it's not enough to just fix the immediate issue. We have to be detectives and find the real reason it happened. This is called root cause analysis. We use special tools to dig deep. One is the 5 whys method, where you just keep asking why until you get to the core of the problem. Another is the fishbone diagram, which helps us brainstorm all the possible causes related to people, methods, machines, materials, and the environment. Other powerful tools help us get a complete picture. A Pareto chart is a type of graph that helps us focus on the biggest problems first by showing which issues happen most frequently. It's based on the idea that about 80% of the problems come from about 20% of the causes. Then there's fault tree analysis, which starts with the failure and works backward to identify all the possible things that could have led to it. Finally, failure mode and effects analysis, or FMEA, is a proactive tool. We think about what could go wrong in the future, and we put plans in place to prevent it from ever happening. These tools turn us from problem fixers into problem preventers. All of this analysis creates a lot of data, and in science, data must be trustworthy. In the pharmaceutical world, we have a set of principles for this, known as ALCOA++. It's an acronym that helps everyone remember the rules for good data. The A stands for attributable, meaning we know who recorded the data and when. L is for legible, so it must be readable and permanent. C is for contemporaneous, which means it was recorded at the exact time the work was done, not later from memory. O is for original, meaning it's the first place the data was written down, not a copy. And the second A is for accurate, ensuring the data is correct and free from errors. The plus adds even more layers of trust. The first plus stands for complete. The data must tell the whole story, including any retests or repeat analyses. The next plus is for consistent, meaning the data follows the expected sequence of events, like a timestamp that makes sense. The next is enduring, so the data must last for years on paper or in a secure digital format. And the last is available, meaning the data can be accessed for review or an audit whenever it's needed. ALCOA++ isn't just a suggestion, it's the foundation of data integrity that lets us trust the information behind every medicine. Imagine baking a cake in a kitchen where someone just finished making a spicy fish dinner. You wouldn't want your vanilla cake to taste like fish, would you? The same idea is critical in a pharmaceutical plant, but the stakes are much, much higher. Before we start making a new batch of medicine, we perform something called line clearance. This is a formal check to make sure that the entire production area and all the equipment are completely free from any materials, labels, or documents from the previous product. It prevents mix-ups and cross-contamination, which could be incredibly dangerous for patients. The line clearance process is guided by a detailed checklist. An operator and a quality assurance person will walk through the line together, double-checking everything. They check that all previous raw materials have been removed. They verify that all old packaging and labels are gone. They ensure the machines have been thoroughly cleaned and that the cleaning records are complete. They also confirm that the area has the correct documents and materials for the next product that is scheduled to be made. Only when every single item on that checklist is ticked off can the new production run begin. It's a critical pause that ensures a clean start. Cleaning itself is a science. There are different types of cleaning for different situations. First is cleaning in place, or CIP, where equipment is cleaned without taking it apart, often using automated systems that circulate cleaning and rinsing solutions. For equipment that needs to be disassembled, we use cleaning out of place, or COP, where parts are taken to a special washing station. And then there's manual cleaning, which involves good old-fashioned scrubbing by trained personnel using specific procedures. To make sure everyone does it the same way every time, we use an SOP, or standard operating procedure. An SOP is a step-by-step instruction manual for a task. For cleaning, there might be a specific SCP, or standard cleaning procedure. What happens if we need to change something? Maybe we want to use a new piece of equipment, change a supplier, or update a computer system. We can't just go ahead and do it. Every proposed change must go through a formal process called change control. This system ensures that any change is carefully reviewed, evaluated for its potential impact on the product's quality and safety, and properly documented. The change must be approved by a team of experts, including people from quality, manufacturing, and regulatory departments. This prevents unintended consequences and makes sure our validated processes remain under control, even as we improve them. Making medicine is not a set-it-and-forget-it process. Throughout the entire manufacturing journey, we are constantly checking our work. These checks are called in-process controls, or IPCs. They are small, quick tests done right on the production line to make sure everything is running as it should. For example, when we are making tablets, we don't just wait until the end to see if they are good. We regularly take samples from the tablet press machine and check them for several things. We check their weight to make sure each tablet has the correct amount of medicine. We check their hardness to make sure they won't break apart in the bottle, but will dissolve properly in the body. We also check the tablet's thickness and diameter to ensure uniformity. Another critical in-process check happens during packaging. We have to be absolutely certain that every bottle, box, and leaflet has the correct information printed on it. This includes the product name, the strength, the batch number, and the expiration date. We use automated vision systems and manual checks to verify that the printing is correct and legible on every single package. These constant checks are like taking the temperature of the process. They allow us to spot any deviation early and fix it immediately, long before it becomes a major problem affecting an entire batch. After the product is made, it must pass a final set of tests before it can be released for sale. These tests are divided into two categories: official and non-official. Official tests are those that are required by an official pharmacopoeia, which is a big book of quality standards published by regulatory bodies like the United States Pharmacopoeia. These tests are mandatory and might include an assay to confirm the exact amount of the active ingredient and a dissolution test to see how quickly the tablet dissolves. These are non-negotiable proof that the medicine meets the legal standards of quality. Non-official tests are additional tests that a company chooses to do to ensure its own high standards of quality. These aren't required by the pharmacopoeia, but provide extra assurance. For tablets, this might include a friability test, which tumbles the tablets in a drum to see if they chip or break easily. While the pharmacopoeia might not require it for all tablets, the company does it to make sure the product will survive shipping and handling and reach the patient in perfect condition. Both official and non-official tests work together to form a final, comprehensive quality check. Quality in medicine is not a destination. It's a continuous journey of diligence, checking, and rechecking, all to keep us safe and healthy.